The current situation on the continent is not only due to internal reasons within the two major empires, but also significantly influenced by the covert interventions of several soul master families and the Spirit Hall. A large and unified empire would never allow forces that threaten its rule to survive. To reach Heavendoe City, the Shrek Academy group first needed to leave the Balak Kingdom, then traverse the entire Sylvis Kingdom to the north of Balak before entering the core region of the Heavendoe Empire. From there, they would head east to the imperial city of Heavendoe Empire. The entire journey was long, nearly 2,000 miles, showcasing the vastness of the Heavendoe Empire's territory. Among the Shrek Seven Devils, Dai Mubai, Tang San, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong all had soul tools for storage, and their teachers also had similar tools, so they didn't worry about carrying their belongings during the journey. Before departure, they stored the purchased food and prepared water in the soul tools. Even if there were no supplies along the way, these provisions would last them 10 days. Alright, little monsters, you've had 2 months of rest. From now on, speed up the journey. Everyone must keep up with my pace, or else, he said Flender, his cunning expression back, as he grabbed the Grandmaster's arm and leaped forward. Flender didn't travel at full speed, and the teachers, led by Zhao Wuji, followed suit. The Shrek Seven Devils exchanged glances and started running without hesitation. Carrying weight during a run was nothing to them, so ordinary running was even less of a concern. They didn't even need to use their soul power. Even Oscar and Ning Rongrong could keep up with Flender's current pace. The Grandmaster, carried by Flender using soul power, didn't need to exert any effort. He asked, puzzled, Flender, what training value does this have for the kids? Their physical foundations are already very strong. Flender chuckled, and no training value? Some methods you can't use, Xiao Gang. Besides, even if it has no training value, speeding up the journey saves time, fewer meals, fewer inns. We can save a lot of money that way. We agreed that the 3,000 gold soul coins from the last match would be used for this third stage trial. Saving is necessary. You haven't changed a bit. The Grandmaster was speechless. Unlike Flender, he never valued money much, always believing that wealth could come and go, especially since he was a Grandmaster and received subsidies from the Spirit Hall. Flender winked slyly at the Grandmaster and suddenly sped up like an arrow. The one who knew Flender best was undoubtedly Zhao Wuji. He glanced helplessly at the Sugarbean Spirit Master, Xiao Xian, and grabbed his arm. Flender wants to save money, but doesn't have to tire us old bones. Xiao Xian, being an auxiliary Spirit Master, had slow speed, so Zhao Wuji took him along as they sped up. Flender's acceleration left the Shrek Seven Devils struggling. Using only physical strength, how could they keep up with someone using soul power, especially when Flender was a Soul Emperor-level agile attack Spirit Master? Hurriedly, the Shrek Seven Devils had to accelerate. Ning Rongrong and Oscar couldn't proceed on their own anymore. Dai Mubai carried Oscar, while Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu took turns carrying Ning Rongrong. They still managed to keep up, exerting full speed to chase after the teachers. Using soul power for a short time was manageable, but the Shrek Seven Devils couldn't compare to their teacher's soul power. Flender's controlled speed was their maximum limit, and within an hour, their soul power was almost exhausted. Seeing them fall behind, Flender slowed down to a normal pace, giving the Shrek Seven Devils time to recover with Oscar's sausages. Of course, the teachers didn't eat Oscar's sausages. A few sugar beans from Xiao Xian were much more effective. After all, Xiao Xian's level was far beyond Oscar's current capability. Traveling this way, after a day, the Shrek Seven Devils were exhausted as if they had gone through the Grandmaster's devil training again. However, they had covered about 400 kilometers, completing a fifth of the journey. Fortunately, Flender wasn't as stingy as he claimed and didn't make everyone camp outdoors. They stayed in a small town, which was more like a large village, at the only inn. Though simple, it was clean enough. Flender displayed his stingy nature, booking only 3 rooms, one for the teachers, one for the male students, and one for the female students. I'm exhausted. Oscar lay on the bed, breathing heavily, looking very content. After a day's travel, they were too tired to care about the simplicity of the place. Dai Mubai said irritably, Why are you tired? Most of your weight was on me. Oscar replied, But I also had to make sausages and mushroom sausages for everyone. Without my mushroom sausages, we couldn't have kept up. My soul power consumption wasn't less than yours. Soul power exhaustion also causes fatigue. Ma Hongjun said, You stop complaining. I'm the unluckiest one, with the heaviest weight and slowest speed. I wish I could fly soon, then traveling wouldn't be a problem. Tang San smiled. Stop complaining and rest. Who knows if our dean will do this again tomorrow? At that moment, there was a knock on the door. The door opened a crack, and Xiao Wu poked her head in. Xiao San, come out for a moment. Tang San agreed and stepped out of the room. Xiao Wu, what's up? Seeing Xiao Wu's tired face, Tang San felt a pang of concern. Xiao Wu pouted coquettishly. After a day's travel, my legs are sore. Brother, can you massage my legs? During their devil training, Tang San often massaged Xiao Wu's legs when she was tired. The internal strength of the mysterious heaven technique had therapeutic effects that soul power didn't have. Soul power was more domineering, while the mysterious heaven technique was gentle and balanced. All right. Here. Tang San fondly ruffled Xiao Wu's hair. Yes, here. Rongrong and Zhu Qing are asleep. As she spoke, Xiao Wu lifted her right leg, displaying her flexibility, and placed her long leg on Tang San's shoulder. Tang San raised his hands, one holding her ankle and the other gently massaging her calf muscles. The warmth of the mysterious heaven technique penetrated her muscles, making Xiao Wu close her eyes in comfort, her face showing a hint of blush. While massaging, Tang San said, If we have to travel like this tomorrow, I'll carry you. Using 8 spider lances, my speed should be fine. Xiao Wu giggled. No need, I can manage. Being a little tired is good. It gives me a reason to have you massage my legs. It feels so good. Brother, why are your hands so warm? Tang San shook his head helplessly. He genuinely cared for his sister. Ignoring the dirt on her shoes, he gently massaged her foot, helping her relax. How does this feel? Very comfortable. My feet don't feel as sore now. Even through her shoes, Tang San's warmth penetrated, making her feel like soaking in a hot spring, comforting her deeply. All right, switch legs. Xiao Wu looked at Tang San, her eyes steady. Brother, I wish we could always be like this. When you have a sister-in-law in the future, will you still care for me? Tang San smiled. A silly girl, of course. You'll always be my sister. Having no experience with romantic relationships in his previous life, he didn't understand them now either. With his father absent, Tang San never felt emotionally void after joining Shrek Academy, having friends and a sister like Xiao Wu and the Grandmaster. He was content with his current life. Xiao Wu giggled. When we grow up, how about I marry you? That way, I can always be your sister and you can take care of me. Tang San laughed. Sure, but you're so beautiful, marrying me would be a loss for you. Xiao Wu huffed. I'm serious. There's nothing wrong with that. To me, you're the best. Brother, did you know Rongrong often teases me, saying we're like siblings? Tang San paused. Isn't that true? You are my sister. Xiao Wu blushed. It's different. Never mind, you're so dense. She withdrew her leg and moved behind Tang San, lightly massaging his shoulders. Though Xiao Wu's technique was unskilled, it felt good to Tang San, especially with the faint warmth, touching his heart's softest spot. All right, you should get some rest early too. We have a long journey ahead tomorrow. Tang San reluctantly held Xiao Wu's hand. Okay, Xiao Wu replied, before returning to her room. Her heartbeat quickened, but there was a hint of hesitation and depth in her eyes. When Tang San returned to his dormitory, he was surprised to see that Dai Mubai and the others were still awake. They were all looking at him with amused expressions. Oscar stood up from his bed, lifted one leg towards Dai Mubai, and said in a coquettish voice, After traveling all day, my legs are sore. Brother, could you rub my legs for me? Dai Mubai laughed heartily and imitated Tang San's voice, Sure, right here. Oscar quickly followed up, yes, right here. Rong Rong and Zhu Qing are already asleep. Seeing their comical antics, Tang San said exasperatedly, So, you eavesdropped on our conversation. The plump guy chuckled, It's not that we eavesdropped, but the soundproofing here is really poor. Brother, you can rub my legs too. As he spoke, he gestured towards his own chubby legs. Tang San nodded seriously, Sure, no problem. I've heard that some toxins can be beneficial to the body, promoting circulation and relaxing muscles. I wonder if my 8 spider lances can do that. Let's try it on you. As he spoke, he removed his shirt, revealing his muscular upper body, and posed as if he was about to release the 8 spider lances. The plump guy was startled and quickly pulled the blanket over himself, letting out a distressed cry, No, Brother San, I was wrong. The memory of the 8 spider lances poison had left a deep impression on him. Tang San said irritably, Go to sleep. Dai Mubai chuckled and said, Tang San, Xiao Wu has already shown her feelings. As her brother, you shouldn't be so slow. Xiao Wu is a rare beauty. Act fast or you'll miss out. Tang San was taken aback. But we are siblings. Enough of this, we're still so young. Isn't it too early to discuss these things? Do you think I'm like the plump guy? I don't have that much desire. Ma Hongjun peeked out from under the blanket and protested. What's wrong with that? The relationship between men and women is natural, a basic instinct. Tang San glared at him. I think you're just driven by instinct. Dai Mubai didn't say anything more, simply shaking his head with a smile and sitting cross-legged on his bed to meditate. The night passed without further incident, and the next morning, they continued their journey. By this time, they had left the Barak kingdom and entered the Silvus kingdom. Fortunately, Flender did not push them to hurry today. He led the group at a normal pace towards the northeast. That day, they arrived in Silvus City, the capital of Silvus Kingdom, located in the southern part of the kingdom. Flender surprisingly chose this large city as their resting place. They entered the city just as night fell. Flender, have you changed your surname? Even the always indifferent Grandmaster found it strange when Flender booked them into a rather expensive hotel. This time, Flender even booked 5 rooms, allowing everyone to have more space, and their dinner was exceptionally lavish. Both Grandmaster and the teachers, including Zhao Wuji, were puzzled by Flender's uncharacteristically generous behavior. During dinner, Flender finally revealed his true intentions. With a smile, Flender raised his glass and said, We've been traveling for 2 days, and everyone is tired. Enjoy the meal tonight. However, little monsters, each of you can only have 1 glass of wine. He then downed his glass and enthusiastically encouraged everyone to eat. Dai Mubai whispered to Tang San, I prefer seeing our headmaster serious rather than smiling like this. Whenever he smiles, I feel like there's something sneaky going on. Watch, there's definitely something up. Sure enough, after several rounds of drinks and dishes, Flender wiped his mouth and gently said to the Shrek 7 devils, You haven't had a real battle in 2 months. Silvus City has a great fighting arena. Tonight, you should go and get some action. Just participate in the team battle to avoid affecting tomorrow's journey. Dai Mubai looked at Flender and said, Headmaster, should we turn in our rewards from this battle to the academy? Flender righteously replied, Even though the academy is closed, as your headmaster, do you think I would take advantage of you? You can keep all your earnings. Do you doubt my intentions, Mubai? Dai Mubai was taken aback. He initially thought Flender wanted them to hand over their rewards from the team battle. With their current level, each of them could earn at least 100 gold spirit coins per match, which was a considerable sum. But Flender's stern rebuttal left him puzzled. Could it be that the headmaster had really changed his ways? Ma Hongjun, understanding his teacher best, mouthed 2 words to Dai Mubai, "Je gambling." That's right, given their level, even the royal fighting team couldn't beat the Shrek 7 Devils. Betting heavily on their team battle would surely bring in substantial profits. This was Flender's true intention. All right, let's head out. Flender paid the bill, asked for directions to the Sylvis Great Spirit Arena, and led the group out of the hotel. The Sylvis Great Spirit Arena looked even more magnificent than the Soto Great Spirit Arena. After all, this was the capital of the Sylvis Kingdom, 1 tier higher than Soto. With the masks that had stunned the Soto Great Spirit Arena, the Shrek 7 Devils set out again. However, when Flender signed them up for the team battle, he was in for a shock. The staff at the Sylvis Great Spirit Arena carefully checked the Shrek 7 Devil spirit badges and looked at the 7 masked spirit masters in disbelief, saying, "I'm sorry, honorable spirit masters, but you cannot participate in tonight's team battle." The Shrek 7 Devils didn't mind, but Flender was anxious. Having spent a lot of money upon entering Sylvis City, he was counting on earning some back here. Why? Is there no one in the Sylvis Great Spirit Arena? Flender asked angrily. Although Flender's words were somewhat arrogant, the staff didn't refute him. A 30-level gold spirit team indeed had the right to be arrogant. The staff member, who had worked at the Great Spirit Arena for over 20 years, had never seen such an unusual spirit team. I'm sorry, sir. Our Sylvis Great Spirit Arena does not have a 30-level gold spirit team for a fair fight, the staff member explained. Flender said, Then a silver spirit team will do. Can't you see that only one of them has just reached the gold spirit rank? The staff shook his head, That's not possible. We only have one 30-level silver spirit team, and it wouldn't be a fair fight. You must understand the rules of the Great Spirit Arena. The team rank is determined by the highest-ranking spirit master. Zhao Wuji laughed from the side, It seems someone's plans have fallen through. Standing beside Zhao Wuji, Lu Qibin, Li Yusong, and Xiao Xian, the elder spirit masters, couldn't help but laugh. They were not subordinates to Flender. They had been good friends even before the Shrek Academy was founded. Seeing Flender fail was a source of amusement for them. Flender asked unwillingly, Is there no other way? The staff thought for a moment and said, There is another way. If you choose to fight above your level, I can arrange that. This means you could challenge the lowest 40-level spirit teams. Here, 40-level teams are mostly silver spirit teams, with a few gold teams. You can choose any. 40 level? Flender was initially stunned, then firmly shook his head, Forget it. A gentleman loves money, but takes it in the right way. Flender understood this principle. Though battles in the spirit arena typically don't result in death, Flender wouldn't risk his student's safety for his own gain. Earning a little extra safely was one thing, but seeking profit through the Shrek 7 Devil's danger was something Flender would never do. Though frugal, he had principles. No, I think we can do it, the Grandmaster's stiff voice suddenly said as he walked to Flender's side. Flender frowned deeply. Xiao Gang, are you kidding? How can you consider this? You know the difference one spirit ring makes. Do you want to send the kids to their deaths? Don't forget, 3 of them haven't even reached level 30 yet. Facing a team of spirit masters at level 40, they don't stand a chance. The master shook his head and replied, Of course, I wouldn't let the kids take unnecessary risks. Flender, there are many differences even among level 40 spirit battle teams. Then, the master turned to the staff member. You just said we could choose any opponent we want, right? The staff member quickly nodded. Yes, that's correct. And I can guarantee that this team battle will take place in the central main spirit battle arena. Level crossing challenges are rare in the Great Spirit Arena, especially in team battles. In one-on-one situations, if one side has a particularly outstanding spirit, there's a chance to win despite a one spirit ring difference. But in team battles, which rely on collective strength, if the whole team is weaker by one spirit ring, how can they fight? Therefore, level crossing challenges almost never happen in team battles, and there are very few successful cases in the entire history of the Great Spirit Arena. However, such challenges are extremely eye-catching and exciting for the audience. Once the news is out, the central main spirit battle arena will likely be packed. Such a lucrative opportunity wouldn't be refused by the arena. The master continued, Do you have any particularly brutal teams among the level 40 teams? Preferably those that have injured their opponents in every match. The higher the injury ratio, the better. What? The staff member looked at the master in surprise, thinking to himself, is this person trying to get his team killed? He had thought the master would choose the weakest level 40 team, but he never expected such a request. Flender grabbed the master's shoulder and growled, Shao Gang, are you insane? Do you want to send the kids to their deaths? The master smiled calmly. Flender, do you think I would send Shao San to his death? Relax, I have my reasons. Flender was stunned. Right, the master would never send the kids to their deaths, especially since Tang San is his only disciple. From the way the master usually cares for him, Flender can see that he treats Tang San as his own child. How could he let him take such a risk? Taking advantage of Flender's momentary daze, the master asked the staff member again, So, do you have such a team? Yes we do. The staff member finally reacted, the ferocious team. A level 40 Silver Spirit Battle team. They have fought 46 battles with 31 wins since entering the Silver Spirit Battle level, killing 63 opponents and injuring 98. They are known as the lethal weapon among Silver Spirit Battle teams. Most Silver teams avoid them due to their vicious fighting style. The master nodded in satisfaction. Good, then we will challenge the ferocious team. Our team's name is Shrek 7 Monsters, with 7 members participating. Master, seeing that the master was serious, Zhao Wuji and the other 4 teachers hurriedly gathered around, trying to stop him. The master shook his head at them and said something in a low voice that made them all suddenly understand, their worried expressions disappearing. Flender hesitated and said, But, is this really okay? The master replied calmly, Flender, this is also a form of training. One day, they will have to face such situations. Do you think it's better for them to face it now with us guiding them, or later on their own? Flender's eyes met the master's, as if sparks flew between them, but in the end, it was Flender who compromised, nodding, all right, I hope you're right. The master smiled calmly. This is the best way to test their psychological resilience. It's something they will have to experience eventually. Flender looked at the other teachers and said, let's put it to a vote. Raise your hand if you support the master's decision. Majority rules. As he spoke, Flender was the first to raise his hand. The other teachers hesitated for a moment, but then expressed their agreement one by one. The master then turned to the staff member. Please make the arrangements for us. All right, please wait a moment. A level crossing team battle in the Great Spirit Arena is a big deal, something an ordinary staff member couldn't decide on. After a short while, the staff member brought in the responsible supervisor, and the decision was finalized. Oscar whispered, Is the master out of his mind, having us challenge a level 40 team? Our spirits and spirit rings are good, but the level and spirit ring gap is too big, it's impossible to win. And it's the most brutal level 40 team. Dai Mubai said coldly, So what if they're level 40? We might still win. Besides, Level crossing challenges earn 10 times the points. If we win, each of us will gain 1,000 points, which is a shortcut. Ma Hongjun said, boss Dai, it's easy for you to say. You're level 38, but I'm only level 28, 2 spirit rings behind level 40. How are we supposed to fight? Third brother, what do you think? Tang San frowned and shook his head, contemplating the master's intentions. He knew his teacher wouldn't make such decisions without a reason. Since the master did this, there must be a purpose. But what is it? He understood that although he had an external spirit bone, which is extraordinary for his level, it couldn't bridge the overall gap between the Shrek 7 monsters and a level 40 team. Besides Dai Mubai, the others had a significant spirit power gap with their opponents. Especially with the spirit ring difference, winning seemed almost impossible. Soon, the master finished the arrangements, and the staff of Sylvis Great Spirit Arena started promoting the event. Since the battle hadn't started yet, with more than an hour to go before the final team battle, they focused on attracting high-level spectators and setting up betting pools. The arena wouldn't miss any opportunity to make money. To show their respect for the Shrek group, the Great Spirit Arena provided them with a private room to rest while waiting for the level crossing challenge to begin. Entering the room, the experienced Shrek 7 monsters began preparing to meditate and maintain their best spirit power state, but the master stopped them. And no need to meditate. I have something to say to you. The Shrek 7 monsters looked at the master in confusion, including Tang San. The master said calmly, Are you wondering why I decided to let you participate in such a dangerous spirit battle? The Shrek 7 monsters looked at each other and nodded. The master said, Based on your strength, you might not be able to defeat level 40 opponents. My decision is partly to help Flender, and partly to let you test the weapons you have. In this team battle, I permit you to use the hidden weapons Tang San made. Tang San, you know your hidden weapons best, so you will manage them. The master's words dispelled the Shrek 7 monsters' doubts. Although their strength might be inferior, they had tested Tang San's hidden weapons, especially the formidable Zhuge Divine crossbow. Tang San hesitated. But teacher, if we do that... The master interrupted him. I chose a brutal team. You don't need any psychological burden. Remember, your opponents are stronger, so to win, you must surprise them and give them no chance to recover. Do you understand, Xiao San? Although Tang San didn't know why the master made this decision, he chose to trust his teacher and nodded. Yes, teacher, I understand. The master said, Good, now arrange the battle strategy. Mengli had been in a bad mood recently. As the captain of the ferocious team, it was no wonder he was upset. The ferocious team hadn't participated in a team battle for more than half a month. The reason was simple: they were collectively boycotted by all level 40 Silver Spirit battle teams. No team wanted to fight them. Since its establishment, the ferocious team had adopted a mad dog tactic, with Mengli believing in overwhelming force and brutality. In previous team battles, regardless of the opponents, the ferocious team, under his lead, would launch frantic, desperate attacks, causing injuries or even deaths, even if they lost. Over time, whenever the ferocious team participated in team battles, their opponents were first defeated in spirit, making it hard to win even if they were stronger. Recently, however, the ferocious team faced trouble. Due to their overly brutal style, all Silver Spirit battle teams refused to fight them. Spirit masters are hard to train, and who wants their teammates to die in battle? Accidents are inevitable occasionally, but fighting the ferocious team meant certain death, not an accident. Thus, boycotting the ferocious team became the consensus among level 40 Silver Spirit battle teams.